Hey guys, welcome to my first game dev video. I'm planning on making a 2D platformer. I wanted to start with making my main character. Right now, at first I started trying to make the posture and it's the posture / pose of the character, which honestly wasn't going well because I can't draw. So I ended up having to pivot and find a reference photo to go off of. Once I found the reference photo, I essentially just tried to copy it over on the sprite sheet. Honestly, and as I'm doing these videos, I will reveal details about the game as they're relevant. There is a story behind the game, but you don't need to know the story to play the game, which I think is good for casual players and people who do enjoy being invested in the game. As I'm doing this posture, I'm moving stuff around, I'm adding, and I'm a lot more comfortable, and I'm really thinking this is gonna be my final pose / posture, which is not true because again, I can't draw, so every time I think I'm doing good, it ends up going left. Also, please let me know if you guys want me to keep doing voiceovers, make the voiceovers shorter, or just write it out on the screen. And I'll just pivot to whatever majority wants. Right now, I'm trying to find a way to put the reference onto the sprite sheet. That way, it's easier to copy. Also, I do plan on doing a Hollow Knight game dev playthrough on my other channel. That way I can get more experience and tips on how to make my game, because I'll be able to see how one of the most popular 2D platformers is made and what's so great about it, and implement that into my game. The first video on that will hopefully come out in less than 2 weeks. So please go subscribe to that channel, Alaya Unlocked. Here, I'm even more comfortable because I'm able to just copy it right on over and even count the pixels. That way I can make sure I'm doing the exact amount of pixels, which ends up making this an exact copy of this posture. However, even though this ends up being an exact copy of the posture, that doesn't mean that I liked how it came out. I honestly didn't like how this came out, so I ended up having to pivot again, which you will see, and I pivoted to finding an already made character template that I could just customize on itch.io, because I could see that trying to make the pose / posture myself would be a huge waste of time, since I'm not gonna be going into any type of pixel art field. It'll be good to have some of the skill, but it's not my main focus. The coding is my main focus. So this ends up being the pixel art that I use, the pixel art character template that I use, which is not a bad template, and you guys will see what I intend to do with it in a second. But I will say overall, all of these pixel art portions of the game dev videos, I think they will get better over time, but a lot of them will be either me finding something on itch to help me complete what I'm trying to do, me watching a YouTube video to help me do what I'm trying to do. None of it will be just straight me from scratch, because I'm not a great drawer, so I don't have that skill set. Right now, I'm just trying to crop the sprite sheet so that I can focus on one portion of the character at a time instead of all of the different animation bits. And everything I've done in this video has been based off a YouTube video I watched on how to do these things. I watched a lot of this guy named Adam C. Eunice, I believe, and I really like his videos on pixel art. So I started by trying to change the character's skin color because of course I want the character to be black, and then I was trying to adjust the character size and then add the clothes, then the hair, which you'll see that process right now. I'm also over time, hopefully I get better at these voiceovers. I definitely want to get more animated and stuff like that. But again, it's my first video, so I'm just gonna learn and do better over time. Because I have re-recorded this voiceover like 4 times and I don't want to do it again. But as you can see, I thought I was doing well till I got to the hoodie. Because look, this hoodie is so bad. Honestly, I ended up just having to move on from the hoodie. And then I moved on to trying to do the hair because for some reason I thought the hair would bring it all together and that if I can get the hair down, I'd be able to salvage it. But really, make sure you let me know if you guys do want the Hollow Knight, I believe it's called, playthroughs where I'm learning more about game dev and having fun playing a game. I'm sure I'm gonna post them anyway, so go to my second channel for that. But I probably won't waste time editing them yet. If you guys don't want them, I'll probably just have them recorded and then post them later and focus on the game dev stuff. So just let me know if you guys want that now. So here's where I really locked in on making the character bigger because the sprite they already had was too small for the game I'm trying to make. So I had to make the character bigger and then go in and fix the pixels. And as you're about to see right now, I could not get this, would it be left arm? I think for the character's left arm, I could not get this left arm to look right. That was the first thing I noticed looking really weird, which me trying to fix that left arm ended in me messing up the front of the body, which then now I'm looking at it, also the legs were messed up. So it just all started to look weird. And even though at this point I already knew it was looking weird, I still decided to continue on and try to get to the hair because I, for some reason again, thought, oh, if I get this hair down, the rest will be good. And at this point, I'm trying to make locks for the character. And it's just not looking right. The like parts that come down were supposed to be like, you know how sometimes your locks will fall in your face? That's what that was supposed to be, but it wasn't looking right. So I pivoted and decided to just make the locks in the actual hair first, and then I'll figure those out after. And when I started adding these squiggly lines, it actually started to look nice, and I was like, cool, I'd be okay with this going in my game. But it still wasn't really looking like locks. It was looking more like a freeforms if I'm lucky. But I still really liked the hair. I was like, cool, the hair I did good. So I moved back on to making the clothes because for some reason I thought, okay, the hair is good. The rest of this will fall into place. I'll be fine. And let me tell you, it did not fall into place. Like when you see the zoom out, it looked so bad still. So I had to pivot again. And this time with the pivot, I was just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna keep going through this. Let me just find a pre-made sprite, which is this one, and I'm just gonna try to tweak it some without doing too much to where I mess up the animations or I mess up the actual character. and I'm gonna use this in my game, and then maybe eventually I'll find somebody who's good at pixel art, ask them to make it, or I'll sit down and take the time to learn myself. But this will be the character I use at least through the playtest, if not longer. The link will be in the bio for this character and for the music that's being played. But yeah, so this is what I end up with. Bye guys. Please like and subscribe.